Well, from the El Toro Water District, we have Mark Monahan here today, and Mark is the Vice President on their Board of Directors. Welcome back. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Ken.
And today we're going to, well, talk about pretty much what not to put down your drains.
Correct.
Whether it's your kitchen sink or your toilet or whatever it might be. Those are probably the two big ones, though.
Big part of El Toro is not just water, it's sewer.
Right,
so
it is sewer, yes.
we have some pictures that are kind of graphic, so...
All right. So we're going to show those. The first one here is a term called fog. And this is something that, I think for years and years ago, people used to put down their sink, and hopefully they don't do this anymore because it would cause problems for themselves, but fats, oil, and grease, right?
Right. Now I'm a pilot and I fly in fog, but this is a different type of fog.
Okay.
Fats, oil, and grease.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that people don't do this much anymore.
I hope so. I think people are. We needed our customers to do well in the drought, which they did. So we need them to help us out on this topic also.
Now, some may still get down the sink, and this is where, again, I don't think people take all their oil and purposely down there, but sometimes you're cleaning a pan and do that. And,
right.
If you can, maybe you've fried some bacon and you put the bacon grease, because bacon grease is great for cooking with. But, what I usually try and do, is there a little bit left, is wipe it out with a paper towel.
That's what I do, yeah.
And then I'll clean the pan, however I choose to do
Absolutely.
that.
Anything you can do to make sure that doesn't get down is, because when it cools, then you see how nasty it is, and that's what happens.
And that's what the next slide is. And not only is it like that, but it turns into this sludge, right?
Yeah, over time it really gets worse and worse, and that's a big cost at the department is cleaning these things out when they get filled up. So
right.
Everything they can do, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and with this, what happens in things like this, and it causes staff time for you folks, money, which in turn goes back in some form or another back to the people who are paying their monthly bill.
So the better they can do on that, the more we can provide other services for them.
Okay. Now on the next slide, this is your sewer collection system, and this is routine maintenance that you folks do on a certain cycle.
Right. So we do hydro cleaning, and that's a very expensive piece of equipment. We do hydro cleaning every 2 years, high frequency cleaning. Then we do video inspections every 5 years on different locations. And then roots. Believe it or not, the older a system is, they get into everything. So we got to maintain the roots, and then the typical manhole and mainline lateral repairs.
Right, and that again it's something that you do on a routine basis. And so what you guys want to avoid is something that you have to go out because it's an emergency problem.
Yeah, and now this will cause you problems in your own location too. So it causes you problems and us problems. So please do your best.
Now this is some of the inspections that you do. Obviously one of the big ones are restaurants. And
correct.
We don't have to worry about that too much here.
Right.
But I know in general, restaurants have grease traps, but sometimes that fails or it gets in, and that's what causes huge problems.
We do our best on educating them, and they've been very accommodating and working with us on that.
Right, and obviously there's certain codes that they need to follow.
Correct, they do, very strict.
Now here's something that, now we're going to move on to the toilet area.
Yeah.
And this is something that I know you've talked about, and you folks have talked about over the years, flushable wipes. And how do they even come up with saying these are flushable when they really, yes, they flush down, but they don't dissipate.
Yeah, they don't. They don't dissipate like toilet paper does.
Right.
And they're a real problem, and every type of wipe really causes us a lot of problems. And then when it's there, it grabs more grease and other things, and it just compounds on itself. So the wipes are very important that you don't flush them down.
Yeah, and this would be the same for like baby wipes and those kind of things.
Every kind of wipe is made of a material that's strong, and it just doesn't dissolve. It doesn't break down.
Again, it's interesting how they get away with calling
I don't know.
calling that.
I just wish that one be. But.
Yeah, they have to change that around. Now, again, how they impact, well, it's basically like putting you know.
It's like putting a filter or something
Yeah.
that's going to grab other things down
Yeah.
in there. And it's not a pleasant thing for our staff to have to clean those out.
Not at all. So, you know, the bottom line here is what not to put down your drains.
Right.
And
what not to flush.
And what not to flush.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, again, I think people are pretty good, I would hope, with the grease and all that, but the flushable wipes and things like that.
Yeah, it says flushable.
It says
and they may
flushable. What else are, people are going to think?
Right.
So that's something to really keep in mind, and it can cause not just problems where you are, meaning the folks live in that immediate sewer line.
But it's all the way down.
It's all the way down the line.
Right, right.
Now, when you guys do this maintenance on a monthly basis or yearly, 24-month, whatever it might be, that's the routine that you hope to keep without going out.
And
all
it
the time.
doesn't, there are bends and, you know, that
Right.
collect more in a system. So those are the ones we show up more. And sometimes it's at 2 in the morning. So
Yeah.
that can be a real problem.
Yes.
So do everything you can and being knowledgeable on what goes in the system.
Now, if people want information on the website, they can find out what not to put down and things like that.
Yeah, if it's something that doesn't look like it can dissolve, then just don't flush it or don't put it down the sink.
Okay, what about other things like, I don't know, that people have? Do you have problems like with soap and things like that?
Not generally. That
Okay.
usually isn't a problem.
Okay.
You know, it's just things that you don't think would break down.
Okay.
You know, those are the things that, you know, really avoid.
Now, years ago, people would put down their disposal in the kitchen. It was very common to put eggshells and coffee grounds and things like that. You don't want that either.
No, no, and people are picking up composting, and that really helps if you keep that, you know, the eggshells and coffee grinds, keep those things out of the...
Yeah, those are great for composting.
Because
Yeah.
it'll just plug up your local area, and then it's a problem for us downstream.
Yeah, so you know, when it comes to composting, coffee grounds used to be, I don't know if you still can do this, you could go to Starbucks and they would give you coffee grounds, which are acidic, and if you're growing something like azaleas or blueberries or something like that, they love that. So if you're doing that in a pot and you put like a handful of coffee grounds in there, every so often it acts like a fertilizer.
Yeah, people have
There you
picked that
go.
up, and it's been better on the system.
Yeah, and
for
if
not
you
putting
love
it in.
coffee, the smell of coffee in your garden
I love coffee.
is kind of nice. All right, Mark, good to see you.